Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العظيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Today inshallah we'll be looking at a surah that I'm sure that everyone hopefully inshallah knows by heart, and it's a surah that at least for myself is one of the surahs that you keep reading and reading, and it's such a powerful surah, and it's only 4 ayah. One of the smallest surahs in the Quran. It's right towards the end of the Amma Para, and that is Surah Ikhlas. And so the first thing is that why do we call this surah that we just heard, that I just recited, why do we call it Surah Ikhlas, even though the word Ikhlas does not come in the surah? And so we have to understand that the word Ikhlas can mean essence of something, right? It can mean the essence of religion then, or in a sense, the surah basically summarizes our entire religion for us, right? There is a hadith and which says, and I'll give you the mafhum, that the 7 heavens and the 7 earths, right, Sato Asman and Sato Zameen, they are founded upon Kul Hu Allahu Ahad, or more in a way of understanding that they are there, matlab Sato Asman or Sato Zameen isliye qaim hai because Kul Hu Allahu Ahad qaim hai, so that you can understand that hadith there as well. So right, which means that if no one was there to say Kul Hu Allahu Ahad, right, so then everything will cease to exist, right? And there is another hadith another hadith that the Prophet ﷺ basically said to his Sahaba, and he asked them that which one of you would like to recite 1/3 of the Quran every night? And the Sahaba were all, they were befuddled, and they asked that how is it possible, because that's 10 paras, 10 paras of the Quran, how do you recite that every night? And so the Prophet ﷺ said that recite Surah Ikhlas, right? So showing that these 4 ayah actually surmount to 1/3 of the Quran, and inshallah we'll be looking at that today, right? And so many Sahaba had so much love for this surah. There is one Sahabi, Ghaliban, his name is Muaz. He was from the Ansar, and he basically used to lead the prayer in Masjid al-Quba. And when he used to lead the prayer, so he would recite Surah Ikhlas in every rakat, right? And then he would recite some other surah, but he would start with, so after the Fatiha, he would recite Surah Ikhlas and then some other surah. He would just do that. And so the people behind him, they were slightly confused and they didn't know what to do. And this kept going on and on and on until they came to the Prophet ﷺ, and they said that, this person, he in every rakat, he is our Imam, he is the best amongst us, he knows the most Quran, he has to be our Imam. But, he recites Surah Ikhlas every time. In fact, they went to the Imam first and said, why do you do it? And he said that I'll keep on doing it, and if you stop me from reciting Surah Ikhlas in every rakat, I will not become your Imam. And because they realized that he is still the best person amongst us, so they wanted him to be the Imam. And so they came to the Prophet ﷺ. And so the Prophet ﷺ called this Sahabi and asked him that, what makes you recite Surah Ikhlas in every rakat? And he said that it's because I love it. And subhanAllah, the Prophet ﷺ replied that this love for this surah will make you enter paradise, right? And this just shows you, just to point out, that does not mean that should me and you start doing that as well. I would just want to point out, it's because I think the Prophet also realized the ikhlas with which the Sahabi was reading this surah. And so if Allah Ta'ala grants us such ikhlas and such iman, so then maybe Allah we can do it as well. But I can't make any claims about that for myself right now as well. So and this is an important surah to cover, at least in these sessions as well, because this is a surah that we know the translation to. Majority of the people know it by heart. Majority of the people know the translation to it as well, right? हम भी स्कूल में बचपन से हमें ये translation रटाई हुई है, हर assembly में सुनना पड़ता था. And so this is a great surah to ponder upon, because एक तो हमें हिफ्ज भी है, translation भी majority लोगों को पता है, so it's really important that हम इस पे ponder करें and हम देखेंगे what this surah is actually talking about, right? And so why ikhlas? As I said again, that it's because ikhlas comes from the word akhlasa, it means to purify. So in a sense, this surah is something that purifies the heart, it purifies the mind, it purifies our sins, it purifies our life, it purifies our akhirah, it basically purifies everything for us, right? So it's a purification of our iman as well. Ikhlas also means to be sincere, khulus, sincerity hona. And because sincerity mein bhi we are cleansing our intention, right? We are clearing our intention. हम अपने intention को वाज़े कर रहे होते हैं. That's sincerity. So उसमें भी एक purification का sincerity में element है. And so this is not just a surah जो हम जो है बस सुस्ती में अपनी नमाजों में जल्दी से पढ़ लेते हैं. It's actually a surah on which we need to stop and ponder upon, right? How the shan and nuzul of the surah is really important. It's because the idolaters, the mushrikeen in Makkah, they came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they asked him that describe your Allah to us. Achha, we know that they also used to call their God Allah and they believe in Allah, but वो शिरक करते थे. हम बाद में भी थोड़ा देखेंगे कि even the Christians, even in your Christian books and all of that, right? You have the word Allah there. The Arab Christians, जिनकी books Arabic में थी, translated भी थी, and they would use the word Allah there as well. So the concept of Allah was there. And now the mushrikeen in Makkah are asking the Prophet ﷺ that describe your Allah to us. And then there's another narration which says that they said that tell us the lineage of your Allah. That where did he come from? It's basically the sawal. Just like arm way musko put karna, right? And so then this surah was revealed. And this surah starts off with let me just put the surah on the board for you. Sorry about that. So the surah starts off with Qul huwallahu ahad. It starts off with Qul huwallahu ahad, right? It starts off with Qul. And that's really important because the word Qul is basically, it's because a question was asked, right? There was a question that was asked. And so Allah Ta'ala is saying Qul, aap keh dijiye. So that's answering the question. And it's also really important that the word Qul is used because हम कभी बार सोचते हैं कि जो faith है वो एक internal चीज है, something that is internal. But and it's not something, you know, मतलब तो हमारी अंदर की बात है, but Allah Ta'ala कह रहे हैं Qul, नहीं कह दे. मतलब it's something that we need to talk about, right? It's something that's supposed to be shared with people. It's supposed to be to remind yourself, is to remind others. So the word Qul is used. क्या बता दें, right? अच्छा, it's interesting when you say Qul or when you say आप कह दें, तो एक सवाल पैदा होता है कि किससे कह दें? Who should we say this to? So Allah Ta'ala is not saying Qul, you know, al kafirin, right? He's not saying say to the kuffar. He's not saying say to the disbeliever. He's saying Qul, and then there is no maf'ul or there is no object that is specified कि किसको कहा जा रहा है, which means that it's supposed to be said to each and everyone, every person, Muslim, non-Muslim, whoever there is in this dunya. This message is for everyone. Qul huwallahu ahad. Say He is Allah, who is the one, right? And so this ayah starts off with हुआ. अच्छा, जो हुआ है इसको हम translate करते हैं as he, which is a pronoun. अच्छा, थोड़ा सा मैं grammar में जाऊंगा कि even जब हम उर्दू में या इंग्लिश में हम pronouns इस्तेमाल कर रहे होते हैं he, she, it वगैरह, तो a pronoun is supposed to go back to something, right? You refer to a pronoun once the noun is specified. For example, I start off a story and I say that the boy went to the masjid. And then the next sentence I can say he prayed in the masjid, right? I use the word he because that he has to go back to something. There has to be a noun before, there has to be a qualifier before. जिसको जो वो ज़मीर होती है, हुआ ज़मीर है, वो लौट रही होती है. But Allah Ta'ala starts the sentence with हुआ, he, and that is basically pointing out to something. It's saying it's supposed to go back to something that is already present in your mind and in your heart. इसको हम ज़मीर शान कहते हैं in Arabic, and we saw that in Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr as well, that who is going back to what? it can only go back to the Quran. So yeah, kul huwa, that huwa can only go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's supposed to be there in our subconscious, right? And this kul huwa Allah, that is one sentence, right? That is one single sentence. And then ahad is the next sentence. In a sense, you're saying kul huwa Allah and then huwa ahad. So let's look at the first sentence. कि ये जो as I mentioned before, जो मुशरिकीन होते थे, कुफार होते थे, they used to use the word Allah for God, right? And वो अल्लाह कहते भी थे, जो Christians भी थे, वो भी, even in your Jewish scripture you have Elo, right? You have that word there in their scriptures as well. But यहाँ अल्लाह ताला कह रहे हैं कि no, हुआ, he is the real Allah. जितने भी तुम्हारे concepts about Allah जो तुम्हारी books में हैं, sorry, not in your books, but the books that you have corrupted and the beliefs that you've corrupted and all the things that you have misidentified about him, all the things that you have, the descriptions that you have changed about him, no, they're all wrong. Huwa, he, this is actually Allah. The Allah that we are going to talk about in this surah, these are the real sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And so the first thing that Allah ta'ala tells us is that he is ahad. He is the one. And in Arabic you can say one, and when you say one, usually जो हम Arabic में हम आम इस्तेमाल करते हैं वाहिद, हम कहते हैं वाहिद, one. Allah ta'ala यहाँ ahad इस्तेमाल करें, that's really important. In fact जो word ahad है, that is वो dominantly जो है, जब हम Arabic में आम तौर पे तकल्लुम हो रहा होता है, तो Arabic में आम तौर पे you use the word ahad in a negating sense, किसी चीज को negate करने के लिए. For example मैं कहूँगा laysa ahad fil bayt, right? That there is no one present in the house. And the word ahad is basically specifying that there is no one. मतलब कोई और भी नहीं है, not a single other person is in that house. For example, if I said laysa wahid fil bayt, so that would mean that एक बंदा घर में नहीं है, मगर हो सकता है दो हो, तीन हो, चार हो. But when I say ahad, so that negates the possibility of anything else. There is only one, right? And so subhanallah, even जो word ahad है, Allah ताला ने जो इस sentence में इस्तेमाल किया, because it's not there to negate, तो अल्लाह ताला ने इस word ahad को भी एक बहुत unique sense में use किया है. In a sense, Allah ताला is using this word in this surah in a way that is not used anywhere else in Arabic, right? And that sort of basically implies that Allah Ta'ala is also unique in a way that he uses the descriptions. Allah Ta'ala is unique in the way that he describes himself, right? He is unique in his uniqueness, right? He is one like no other. Like even in the way that he uses the word ahad, there is no one like him who can use these words like he does, right? And because single के लिए, अकेले के लिए एक और word भी आता है wahad, हम कहते हैं wahad, which is actually used for a person who has no connection, who is disconnected, no family, nothing. तो उसके लिए wahad आता है, but Allah Ta'ala didn't use that because wahad जो है वो इंसान के लिए Arabic में इस्तेमाल होता है. And so Allah Ta'ala is basically saying that in my tawheed, I am unique. There is no one like me in this जो tawheed है is just for me. And आप एक बात यूं समझें कि every single thought that we should have about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is really important. ये बहुत जरूरी है even to understand the rest of the surah at this point, कि हम जब भी अल्लाह ताला की कोई भी सिफात के बारे में बात करते हैं, every single thing, he is Sami, he is Basir, he is there are so many other, he is Khaliq, he is Malik, all of these sifat. हम जब भी इन सिफात को देखते हैं, we have to understand that all these sifat should actually come under the shade of ahad. If we don't understand ahad, then we cannot really truly understand any of the other sifat. इसकी मैं आपको एक मिसाल देता हूँ कि अल्लाह ताला ने अपने लिए वर्ड रहीम यूज किया है, करीम इस्तेमाल किया है, right? But अल्लाह ताला ने यही अल्फाज प्रॉफेट सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के इस्तेमाल किए, right? रसूल एंड करीम, right? And he's basically saying that he's used these sifat for the prophet as well. But when we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is rahim, that means completely that means something else. When we say Allah ta'ala is kareem, that means something else. For example, we have to understand that there's a difference between कि मैं और आप सुन सकते हैं और Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala सुन सकते हैं. There's a difference between that me and you can see and Allah ta'ala is also all seeing. There's a difference between me loving something or a human being loving something or us loving something, and there's a difference between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loving something. And there's a difference between us forgiving someone or something, and there's a difference between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiving someone or something, right? So you have to understand that all these sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the major difference that sort of differentiates Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from every other single makhluk in these sifat is the word ahad. Because जो Allah ta'ala की qualities हैं और Allah ta'ala के descriptions हैं, they are basically under the shade of ahad, and that means that there is absolutely no one like him. तो मेरा और आपका देखना और मेरा और आपका सुनना, मेरा और आपका सोचना, वो अल्लाह ताला की सोच और अल्लाह ताला की देखना और अल्लाह ताला के सुनने की तरह नहीं हो सकता, right? अल्लाह ताला कहते हैं ना कुरान में कि they plot and plan and we also plan, right? The planning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like the planning of man. Every single sifat that Allah ta'ala has, No one can match him in that. There is no equal to him in that, right? And when we have this in mind, जब इस चीज को हम अपने ज़हन में रखते हैं, so then our basically our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is cleansed of all the other baggage and all the other relationships that we have with the material world or we have with other human beings. It's all cleansed if we truly internalize this word ahad, right? And इसकी मैं एक मिसाल देता हूँ कि हम कभी कभार इसको internalize नहीं कर रहे होते. And so अगर for example you sometimes meet people and कभी बार अपने साथ भी होता है कि कोई किसी से गुनाह हो गया, right? And आपसे कोई sin हो गया and you've done something wrong and अब आप सोच रहे हो कि मुझसे इतना बड़ा गुनाह हो गया है, मुझे कैसे I can't turn towards Allah, अल्लाह ताला मुझे कैसे माफ करेंगे, and आपको एक मायूसी सी हो जाती है and you get मायूस and you think नहीं मुझसे इतने गुनाह हो गए तो अल्लाह ताला तो मुझे कभी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे, तो फिर बेहतर ये है कि मैं अल्लाह ताला की I don't try and get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah ताला clearly hates me because I'm such a big sinner. It's because me and you are basically equating the concept of forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that of a human being. हो सकता है कि इंसान आपको कभी माफ ना करे, हो सकता है कि आप इंसान को कभी इतना नुकसान पहुंचा दें या आप ऐसी कोई हरकत कर दें कि एक इंसान जो है वो रूठ जाता है, इंसान आपको माफ नहीं करता, मगर अल्लाह ताला बताना चाह रहे हैं कि I am ahad even in my forgiveness, I am ahad in that, no one is like me in that. तो अगर मैं उस तरह सोचूं अल्लाह ताला के बारे में कि मैं जितने भी गुनाह कर लेता हूं या मैं जितनी भी बार गिर जाता हूं तो अल्लाह ताला will always be waiting for me कि मैं कभी ना कभी आके तौबा करूंगा. ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ चीज अल्लाह ताला के साथ खास है. So that's the point of ahad कि when you have to associate that जो अल्लाह ताला की सिफतें हैं they are under the shade of ahad. So he is not like anyone else in that, right? And it's also to show you that this message of deen is the message of hope, right? And we should keep reminding ourselves कि मतलब we should not get tired of saying these things. हमें बार-बार इस चीज को दोहराना है, बार-बार याद दहानी करानी है कि अल्लाह ताला किसी और जात की तरह नहीं है. And this is so that the doors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala they are never closed. And Allah Ta'ala जो है he'll always be waiting, right? And until your last breath जो है अल्लाह ताला चाह रहे होते हैं कि कभी ना कभी एक जो मेरा बंदा है and no one else can be like that, right? No one else can be like that कि अल्लाह ताला जो है वो हमेशा हमेशा चाह रहे होते हैं कि किसी ना किसी तरह जो ये बंदा है वो मेरी तरफ लौट के वापस आ जाएगा, right? And Allah Ta'ala is खास in that, right? And it's so strange that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala owes us nothing. Allah Ta'ala हमें कुछ owe नहीं करते, but he still loves us so much, right? That's his ultimate mercy, and that's what you mean by ahad, right? Achha, now just to understand this first ayah, Qul huwallahu ahad is two sentences. So you have Qul huwallahu and then you have huwa ahadun, right? These are two separate sentences. So there are two ways that Allah, two different sifat Allah points out. And then when we move to the next ayah, Allah Ta'ala is basically talking about the first sentence, which is huwallahu. And who is huwallahu? Allahus samad, right? Allahus samad. That Allah Ta'ala, and this is translated in English as is the eternal refuge. He is the eternal refuge. And let's look at the word samad. The word samad is not used anywhere else, and it's only used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, right? And you have to understand that there are some words which are very khas in this surah. Samad is one of the words. And अगर हम कहते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला ने हदीस शरीफ में आया कि नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने इस सूरह को 1/3 of the Quran का. So he's saying that this surah is 1/3 of the Quran. And then there are some words that are very, very specific to this surah, like samad. You have to understand that in words का असल में कितना broad meaning होगा. And this limited time that we have, with the limited ilm that we have, inshallah, I'll try and make it wazi what samad means, according to and what the mufassirin have said and all of that, right? So basically, samad it comes from the verb samada yasmidu, and it is basically to make something your goal. It is to make intention for something, right? And the Sahaba actually asked when this ayah was revealed, Allahu samad, the Sahaba asked the Prophet that what is samad, right? Who is samad? What is samad? And so the Prophet replied, and he said, mafhum hai, he said that the greatest chief, the final end, the greatest chief to whom everyone turns to, ye wo zaat hai who is the ultimate zaat who everyone turns to in times of need. कि जब हमारी कोई जरूरत पूरी नहीं हो रही होती है तो we know that there is only one zaat जो हमारी सारी जरूरतें पूरी कर सकता है, and that is Allah, and he is samad. And so basically it means that one you turn to in times of need, and when you turn to this zaat you are never disappointed. We turn to human beings as well, but ye wo zaat hai, when we turn to this zaat you will never be disappointed, because you will always need him, and he will have everything to give you to fulfill your needs, right? He is the fulfillment of all your needs. And then samad is also means that even though you will always need him, and he has everything that you need, but he needs no one else. He needs nothing. He is beniyaz. हम उर्दू में translate करते हैं ना, as-samad beniyaz. So you need him for everything, but he needs nothing. No sleep, no food, no drink. कुरान में बार-बार ये बातें और जगह भी आई हैं. He needs no one or anything or any human, and nothing. He needs nothing, right? but we need him for everything. Subhanallah, right? And then I just want to share with you, there are 3-4 different meanings of the word samad, not meaning, but tashriq hi hai, and it's done by Imam Razi, rahmatullah alayhi, one of the greatest commentators of the Quran. And he gives us some really, really great insight into this word samad. And I just want to share some with you in this limited time. And basically, he says, the first thing he says that samad is someone who knows everything and anything. And why is that? Because if you want someone to solve your problem, so if somebody comes to you with a problem, unless you know everything about them in the sense what they want and what they need, you cannot resolve that problem. So Allah Ta'ala samad hai, which means that he has ilm about everything, and so that is why he can help you with every single problem that you have, right? So मतलब हम कहते हैं ना कि we know, but Allah Ta'ala knows everything, right? The inside and the out, the conscious and the subconscious. Allah Ta'ala हर चीज के बारे में जानते हैं, so that he can, so that is why he can fulfill all your needs. It also means that he is forbearing and caring. Another tafsir is that he is forbearing and caring. It's because oftentimes आपके पास कोई काम के लिए आता है and you have something to give, you can give it, but you choose not to give it, right? And that is something that we do, right? But Allah Ta'ala वो ज़ात है, he is that ज़ात, जब उसके पास कोई मांगने आता है उसके दर पे, तो वो कभी अपना हाथ नहीं रोकता, and he gives it, और वो अता करता है, right? And that is obviously something that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, right? अच्छा, उसके बाद samad means the highest possible authority. He is the highest authority, no one is above him, right? इस दुनिया में जब हमें कोई चीज चाहिए होती है and कोई काम अपना करवाना होता है तो हम फौरन अपनी फोन बुक निकालते हैं, सोचते हैं भाई मेरे क्या कनेक्शन है, right? Who should I call? And मैं किसके पास जाऊं? And more often than not, आप जब किसी के पास जाते हो तो it's because it's not he's the end goal, but there will be someone above him, वो उसको कॉल करेगा, then someone above him वो उसको कॉल करेगा, and इस तरह जाके आपके दुनिया के सारे काम हो रहे होते हैं. But Allah Ta'ala is the highest authority, right? That no one like there is no one that you need to seek if you have Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. There is no other higher connection that you need if you are asking Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, if you are close to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. There is no one above him. दुनिया में हम वो ladder चल रहे होते हैं, there is no ladder with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. It's him. He is the ultimate. He is the only one, right? There is another meaning that Allah Samad is someone that you really, really need. It's someone that you are seeking out, someone you are मतलब हम कहते हैं ना किसी को तलब करना. अच्छा, तलब करना, there are two ways. There are the good times and the bad times. So in the good times, you can see that हम जो है ना अल्लाह ताला से ही मांगे कि ठीक है ना, for example, any good thing that we want in life, right? अल्लाह ताला उम्रे पे जाना है, अल्लाह ताला हज करा दें, अल्लाह ताला जो है ना कहीं अच्छी जगह शादी करवा दें, अल्लाह ताला जो है ना मैं ये काम कर रहा हूँ इसमें मेरे रिस्क में बरकत डाल दें. So all the good times you turn to a samad, and then even in the bad times, he is the only one who can bring you out of any dire situation, out of any dire calamity. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who can pull you out. So that is as-samad, right? And कभी कभार हम जो है अल्लाह ताला से चीजें मांग रहे होते हैं and we don't know that if it's good for us or not, right? हमें नहीं पता होता कि ये मेरे लिए अच्छा है, ये मेरे लिए बुरा है, इसमें मेरे लिए खैर है कि नहीं है. and कभी कभार जब हमें वो चीज नहीं मिलती तो मायूस हो जाते हैं कि ओ यार वो वहां मुझे उस स्पेसिफिक यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन चाहिए था, नहीं हुआ, and हम मायूस हो गए कि अल्लाह ताला ने इतनी दुआ की, अल्लाह ताला ने मुझे नहीं दिया. We have to understand that Allah Ta'ala is samad. Allah Ta'ala knows every single thing. He knows what benefit will bring, what nuksan will bring. So more often than not, we have to realize कि कभी कभार हम एक चीज के बारे में दुआ कर रहे होते हैं, हमें नहीं पता होता उसमें हमारे लिए खैर है कि नहीं है, and हम बहुत तलब कर रहे होते हैं उसको, हमें जब वो नहीं मिलती तो हम अपसेट हो जाते हैं. But we have to believe that Allah Ta'ala is samad, that we have to know that Allah Ta'ala will always give us what we need. He is samad. He is the giver of, he's the sustainer, right? तो अल्लाह ताला हमें हर वो चीज अता करेंगे जिसकी हमें जरूरत है. तो अगर हमें कोई चीज नहीं मिलती तो me and you have to have this गुमान, we have to have this ईमान कि उसमें यकीनन मेरे लिए फिर कोई दुनिया और आखिरत की खैर नहीं थी. कभी कभार हो सकता है दुनिया की खैर थी मगर आखिरत की नहीं थी, right? So we don't think like that. We have to think like that, and we can only think like that if we sort of internalize this meaning of samad. And one last meaning of samad that Imam Razi gives that I want to share with you is that he does whatever he wants, right? No one can change his decisions. सही है ना, अल्लाह ताला जो डिक्री कर देते हैं, डिसाइड कर देते हैं, there is no one who can change that, and wala yakhafu uqbaha, right? And he is not afraid of anyone in taking those decisions, right? Subhanallah. And so इसमें just to point out कि there are two types of situations that इंसान फंस जाता है. अच्छा, एक सिचुएशन फंस जाता है या उस पे लाहिक हो जाते हैं. One situation is completely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and उसके लिए अल्लाह ताला को कोई असबाब नहीं चाहिए. For example, किसी को कोई बीमारी हो गई, right? कोई सडनली एक्सीडेंट हो गया, आपने सीट बेल्ट पहनी हुई थी, आप रेड लाइट पे खड़े हुए थे, किसी ने गाड़ी ने आपको आके मार दिया, right? And आपकी जो है ना you got really injured. Children pass away in infancy, there is no control, people have no control over that, right? तो अभी for example माज़ अल्लाह हमें बचाए, अभी कोई earthquake हो जाता है, so there is nothing me and you can do about that, right? And we have to understand that that is as-samad, that's coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's in his hands. But there are other situations कि कभी कभार लोग ना बिल्कुल ही अल्लाह ताला पे तवक्कुल करके बैठ जाते हैं, अब असबाब कोई नहीं इख्तियार करते. There are some situations जिसमें हम या तो खुद अपने आप को डाल देते हैं, या we are in a situation because of someone. किसी ने हमारे साथ कोई बुरा काम किया, किसी ने फ्रॉड किया, चोरी कर ली, रॉब कर लिया. अब मैं जो है हाथ बांध के बैठ जाऊंगा, अच्छा यार मेरे साथ धोखा हो गया, बस अल्लाह ताला की चाहती, अल्लाह ताला ने चाहा तो हो गया, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. तो नहीं, this is a different situation in which you can actually do something, right? If somebody do something wrong to you, and मतलब आप पे कोई इस तरह की हालत आ गई है जिसमें या तो आपने खुद, तो ये ना अगर मैं कुछ पढ़ूं ही ना और मैं कुछ कमाऊं ही ना, और मैं बैठ जाऊं कि नहीं बस अल्लाह ताला जो है वो समझ है, वो किसी ना किसी मेरी नीड्स को फुलफिल कर देगा, तो दैट इज आल्सो रॉन्ग, राइट? The Prophet always said that have tawakkul in Allah after fulfilling the asbab, right? कि पहले ऊंट को बांध लो और फिर तो है अल्लाह ताला से तवक्कुल करो कि ये चोरी नहीं होगा, right? So we have to have that, we have to go hand in hand with that. So if somebody is doing something to us, so we can pursue justice, right? हम justice pursue करें, हम उसको रोकने की कोशिश करें, हम अपने आप को defend करें. So that is what the deen teaches us, right? That's what the deen teaches us. To sum up samad, if I want to sum up this word samad, so it is basically also saying that if we internalize this word samad, it's how we basically shift our dependency from the people and the dunya, and we shift our dependency onto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one way of getting rid of this dependency that we have of this dunya and the people around us, and I'm mentioning people because that is actually one of our biggest problems. हमारी जितनी भी खुशी, गम, ख्वाब, fears, emotions, they are all hinged onto other people in this dunya, right? And that's true for, you know, parents की सारी खुशियां बच्चों पे हिंज कर रही होती हैं, किड्स की सारी खुशियां अपने पेरेंट्स के जो है ना मानने या ना मानने पे हिंज कर रही होती हैं. हस्बैंड वाइफ भी एक दूसरे को देख लें तो जब तक जो है हस्बैंड सोच रहा होता है मेरी वाइफ जो है मेरे लिए बस ये काम नहीं कर दे, मेरी ये बात नहीं मान ले, तो मैं कभी खुश नहीं होऊंगा. द वाइफ इज थिंकिंग वाइस वर्सा एज वेल कि नहीं, अगर मेरा हस्बैंड इस तरह होता तो मैं खुश हो जाती. एंड देयर आर सो मेनी डिपेंडेंसीज दैट वी हैव कि अगर लोग, इफ पीपल डोंट बिहेव इन अ सर्टेन वे and the way in which we want them, right, तो हम बहुत upset हो जाते हैं. And this can lead to like psychological depressions, right? Mental लोग डिप्रेशन में चले जाते हैं, दुनिया की चीजों के पीछे, लोगों के पीछे लोग डिप्रेस हो जाते हैं, right? And so we have to, मतलब एक इमोशनल, इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग इमोशनल डिपेंडेंस होता है कि that actually really affects your life. आपकी जिंदगी, क्यों उसने इस तरह मेरे बारे में क्यों कहा, why is he doing that, अच्छा उसने यूं क्यों सोचा मेरे बारे में. और एंड अगर हमारे साथ कोई चीज हो जाती है तो हम उसके बैठ के बारे में सोचना शुरू हो जाते हैं कि अच्छा यार तो मेरे बारे में इस तरह सोचता है, क्यों सोचता है, मैं तो ऐसा नहीं हूं, शुरू मैं क्लैरिफाई करूं नहीं करूं. एंड इससे पूरे खानदान जो है वो है ना उखड़ जाते हैं, जस्ट बिकॉज बदगुमानियां हो रही हैं, गीबतें हो रही हैं, एंड पीपल आर जस्ट सो इमोशनली, जिसे मैं कहूंगा ना कि इंटरवाइंड विद ईच अदर, कि देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ हर्ट दैट कम्स आउट ऑफ ऑल दिस. And basically, the point that I want to get out, so I want to sort of get to you, कि ये जो dependency है, this in our nature on this dunya and the people of this dunya, it's actually a disease for us, right? And जब तक हम उससे अपने आप को completely free नहीं करेंगे, तो हम true contentment पे, true जिसे हम कहते हैं ना इत्मीनान, हम उस पे नहीं पहुंच सकते, right? कि जब तक मैं और आप ये ना believe करना शुरू हो जाएं कि भाई असल में as-samad है is the one that we need, and because जितने भी इंसान हैं, they are just human beings, अल्लाह ताला की मखलूक हैं, सही है ना, अल्लाह ताला की क्रिएशन है, वो कोई खुदा तो नहीं है, उनसे गलतियां भी होंगी, उनके मुंह से बुरे अल्फाज भी निकलेंगे, सब कुछ होगा. हम किसी के बारे में भी एक परफेक्ट गुमान नहीं कर सकते इंसानों में, आम इंसानों में, राइट? एंड सो me and you have to cut ourselves off from that dependency and put our dependency completely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And that is when you can get true contentment in life. जब हमें पता हो कि मेरे जो जितने भी मेरे मामलात हैं वो इन इंसान पे डिपेंड नहीं करते, हाँ मैं असबाब उठाऊंगा, बट जो उनका जो रिजल्ट है, उनका जो असल जो मुझे चीज मिलनी है वो किससे मिलनी है, वो अल्लाह सुब्हान तआला से मिलनी है. एंड दूसरी बात ये इसमें है कि मैं कोई भी काम अगर कर रहा हूं तो मैं अल्लाह सुब्हान तआला के लिए कर रहा हूं, राइट? मतलब यू हैव पीपल हु विल डू थिंग्स फॉर अदर पीपल, एंड व्हेन बिकॉज़ पीपल, इंसान है तो इंसान डज नॉट रिएक्ट द वे यू वांट देम टू, यू गेट अपसेट. बट अल्लाह वो जात है, whatever you do for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ठीक है ना, तो अल्लाह ताला उसका एक ऐसा अजर देंगे जो मैं और आप इमेजिन ही नहीं कर सकते. एंड हम इंसान से और इस दुनिया से वो अजर एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते. एंड अगर हम अपनी सारी जो है वो तवक्कुआत उसी में डाल देंगे तो हम उसी में फंसे रह जाएंगे, राइट? एंड दैट लीड्स टू मायूसी, and that leads to people turning away from deen, and that leads to people saying maazallah so many bad things about religion and God, right? It's because we don't understand what the word samad actually means. He is the eternal refuge. We turn to him when we have no one else, and we turn to him even if we have everything. That is samad, right? And then Allah Ta'ala once again tells us some more things about himself. Lam yalid wa lam yulad, right? He neither begets nor is he born. Lam yalid matlab he did not father anyone. Walam yulad, and he was not fathered by anyone. So he has no children, right? and he is not someone's children, right? वो किसी की औलाद नहीं है, right? And it's interesting that Allah Ta'ala ने यहाँ lam yalid इस्तेमाल किया, which is in the past tense. So why is it in the past tense? Because it's basically answering all the shirks that have come before in the other religion, right? That you have the Christians making Hazrat Isa alayhi salam son of God. So Allah Ta'ala is saying lam yalid, right? You have the Jews making Hazrat Uzair alayhi salam a partner with God, so lam yalid, right? He's not a son. जो कुफारे मक्का थे, वो जो angels थे, उनको अल्लाह की बेटियां कहते थे. So Allah Ta'ala is saying no, lam yalid, right? And it's really interesting कि ये जो एक the way we sort of why we do these things, एक sort of understanding human nature as to why human beings associate something with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is because that एक हमारे अंदर एक चीज होती है, और हमारे अंदर because हम दुनिया में रहते हैं तो हमारे अंदर चीज पाई जाती है कि we understand closeness through blood relations, right? कि हम कहते हैं कि मेरे से करीब कौन है, तो मेरे रिश्तेदार, people I share blood with, right? So all your bonds are through blood. और जो कुफारे मक्का थे वो तो इस चीज में बहुत आगे थे, because जो मक्कन society थी was completely dependent on kinship, clans, blood ties, family. That's what the entire that Arab nomadic society was built upon, right? And we have to understand this. So this is why you have so many mythologies and you have so many other religions basically saying that it's because they want to connect to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and they want to get close to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, so they have to bring in a human connection in between. So you have Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, and you say that he's a prophet of Allah, and then to get more and more and more and more and more close to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, आप क्या करते हैं? Hazrat Isa alayhi salam को बीच में एक कनेक्शन बना लेते हैं between you and Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and वो कनेक्शन इतना बढ़ जाता है कि एक दिन आप कह देते हैं कि ईसा अलैहि सलाम अल्लाह के बेटे हैं, and अल्लाह के बेटे से वो खुदा हैं, and all of that. And that's how you sort of move towards shirk. It's because you need that connection and you need that closeness. But you have to understand कि even in closeness, एक बात हमने शुरू में डिस्कस की थी कि एक बात है ना कि humans understand closeness through blood relations, right? Through that human connection. So how do we get close to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala? What does it mean to get close to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala? You have to understand the first thing that we discussed in the first ayah. Allah Ta'ala is ahad. So even जब हम closeness की बात करते हैं, Allah is much more closer to us even than that family connection को भी आप साइड कर दें. Allah Ta'ala is even bigger and beyond that. Allah Ta'ala is closer to you than your jugular vein. आपके शाही रग से आप ज्यादा करीब है. हम जो दुनिया में closeness expect कर रहे होते हैं, Allah Ta'ala is beyond that. He is so close to us कि हम उसको understand ही नहीं कर सकते, हम उसका इहाता ही नहीं कर सकते. कि अल्लाह ताला तो वो ज़ात है जो मेरे दिल में एक बात चल रही है, अल्लाह ताला वो सुन रहा है. और मैं जो है, and I need to put in idols or I need a human connection to become close to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Right? We don't need any of that. Allah Ta'ala के साथ एक direct connection है. Why put someone in between? There is no reason to put someone in between. And that's what the mushrikeen used to do. कि ये जो idols हैं, उनको बीच में as intermediaries ले आते थे, intercessors ले आते थे कि ये because हम अल्लाह ताला से एक दूरी महसूस कर रहे हैं, तो आप idols को ले आओ. And this is how I'm jumping a bit ahead, but I'll just mention it now because we're talking about it. कि this is the psychology of shirk, right? कि how does shirk start? And that's how shirk started in the Meccan times as well. कि वो लोग अल्लाह की इबादत कर रहे हैं, and then they're feeling this loneliness कि अच्छा हम अल्लाह को तो देख ही नहीं सकते, अल्लाह ताला जो है क्या है कहाँ है. तो then you have the idol sort of coming in कि अच्छा आपने idol रख लिया, and you say कि अच्छा ये अल्लाह नहीं है, the idol is not Allah, but it's something that I can look at physically so that I can have that human connection, because ये हमारी फितरत के अंदर, so that I feel this connection to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, so I have these idols. And slowly and surely वो idols जो हैं वो क्या बनना शुरू हो गए कि पहले आप अल्लाह से डायरेक्ट मांग रहे थे, फिर आप उन idols से ही मांगने शुरू हो गए. फिर स्टेप फॉरवर्ड आपने क्या, अच्छा idols जो हैं उन्हीं से मांग रहे हैं, तो ये तो इतने करीब हैं अल्लाह ताला के, हो सकता है अल्लाह ताला की बेटियां हों, जिस तरह कुफारे मक्का ने कहा था लात and मनात and उज़्ज़ा, they are the daughters of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, माज़अल्लाह, right? So that idol which was just at पहले वो, it was just something जिसे हम कहेंगे ना symbolic. It was just something symbolic. This is really scary. It's really scary कि हमने वो एक symbolic चीज बना ली और हम कहने कि ये खुदा नहीं है, but it's something that makes me near to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And then slowly and surely, the step by step, you move ahead and ahead. कि पहले वो सिर्फ एक symbol था. Then it's a symbol that आप उसके नाम पे चले, आप कहते हैं कि यार मेरे इतने अच्छे idols हैं, and जो है ना, they bring me so close to Allah, तो मैं इनके नाम पे भी जो है कोई sacrifice करना शुरू करता हूँ. And that's some shirk entering. And then you say कि अच्छा यार ये मेरे सामने ही है तो मैं इसी से मांग लेता हूँ, ये तो अल्लाह ताला की बेटी है, अल्लाह ताला से वो मुझसे इंटरसीड कर लेंगे. And that's so interesting because हम दुनिया में भी यही कर रहे होते हैं. And आप यूँ सोचें कि जो आपकी जो mythologies वगैरह हैं उसमें अल्लाह ताला को, you read the Christian mythology, you read the Greek mythology, उसमें the God is painted as this really supreme authority, and he's this really scary sort of overlord, and all he wants is to punish people, and all he wants is to sort of bring people to to their knees, and that's what that Lord is. एंड फिर क्या होगा कि उस लॉर्ड के कुछ बच्चे होंगे एंड वो छोटे गॉड्स होंगे, और जो इंसान होंगे वो उन गॉड्स के पास जाएंगे, क्योंकि दे कांट गो टू दैट रियली that highest authority, they can't get to that overlord, so they'll go to the children and be like आप प्लीज हमारी सिफारिश कर दें, वो जो है वो हम पे गुस्से हो गए हैं तो आप उनको मना लें. एंड these are really human things. मतलब ये तो एक, ये हम अपनी, हालांकि that's our fitra, but that is us associating human qualities to other, that we are sort of associating human qualities to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, कि अल्लाह ताला वो ऐसी जात है जिनके साथ हमें ये करना जरूरी है, राइट. कि यू नो मतलब एक बच्चे को डर लग रहा है किसी बड़े से, तो वो उसके बेटे के पास आके बोल देता है यार कि प्लीज ना अब्बू को मना लेना, मैं तो उनसे डायरेक्ट बात नहीं कर सकता, right. And you have that in sort of literature as well. I'm going to make a movie reference, Allah Taala मुझे माफ फरमाए. There's a movie called The Godfather, and उसमें जो गॉडफादर है वो क्या करता है कि he is the sort of the chief of the area, right, and everybody, and he has a lot of control over that region. तो जब भी उसके बच्चों की शादी होती है तो उसका एक रूल होता है कि लोग आके मुझसे कुछ भी मांग देंगे तो मैं उनका वो काम कर दूंगा, राइट. तो किसी ने कोई सिफारिश करानी है, किसी को कोई मसला हो रहा है, तो on the day that the children of the godfather are getting married, the people can come to him and he'll grant them everything. This is what literature has done, right? This is what literature is painting. Higher authority की picture जो है वो literature ने हमारे तरफ इस तरह paint कर दी है. That's what we're seeing in the movies, that what we're seeing on the TV. And फिर हम कहते हैं कि नहीं यार हमारा जो ईमान है वो completely unadulterated है, and हमारा ईमान बिल्कुल pure है. This is the psychology of shirk. That's how shirk begins, right? So you have to be really careful कि हम क्या सुन रहे हैं, हम क्या देख रहे हैं. ये सारा कुछ हमारे ईमान को affect कर रहा होता है, subconsciously even. Subconsciously is doing that to us, right? So Allah Ta'ala is saying you don't need anyone else, right? My closeness is even more close that you can imagine, right? I'm closer to you than your jugular vein, and not even your blood can understand you the way I understand, right? And then Allah Ta'ala says lam yulad, and this is really interesting because that's showing you the transition. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. So it's important to मतलब हम negate कर रहे हैं कि because it's negating all the shirk that the mushrikeen in Makkah were doing. It's negating the shirk that the Christians were doing by making Hazrat Isa alayhi salam a son of God. But then Allah Ta'ala says wa lam yulad, he wasn't born as well. Because that's how things start. अच्छा, एक है कि अल्लाह का बेटा होना, and एक है कि हम कहें कि अल्लाह किसी का, अल्लाह ताला was born of someone, and that would put that ज़ात even higher than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. तो अल्लाह ताला ये बताना चाह रहे हैं कि जिस तरह ही शिर्क शुरू होता है कि पहले आप एक छोटे लेवल पे शुरू करते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला के बच्चे हैं, right, and then it goes on and on and on and on, or and then it basically आप उस औलाद को फिर खुदा खुद ही बना देते हो, right. So basically shirk is never ending, and it's really scary because I want to mention it, and डर लगता है मुझे मेंशन करते हुए कि हम भी कभी कभार ये चीजें कर रहे होते हैं अपनी लाइफ में, राइट. कि समटाइम्स आप किसी को इतना ज्यादा रिवर करना शुरू कर देते हो, आप किसी को इतने हाई पेडेस्टल पे रख देते हो, इतना आप उसको वेनरेट करना शुरू कर देते हो कि इट स्टार्ट्स ऑफ विद समथिंग वेरी प्योर एंड सिंपल, कि वो देखो वो तो कितना नेक आदमी था, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, राइट, एंड उसकी तारीफ करना, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, राइट, ऑल ऑफ दैट, एंड उसकी फिर कब्र पे जाना, right, and all of that, and you're doing nothing wrong, but slowly and surely जो है there are some sort of जिसे हम कहते हैं ना perversions that enter your heart and perversions that enter your mind, and then फिर क्या होता है कि हम अल्लाह को भूल जाते हैं और इंसान को ही हम वसीला बना लेते हैं, right, और फिर हम इंसानों से मांग रहे होते हैं, right. कि there's one thing that I go to someone pious who is alive and somebody who I think is pious, and I tell him कि please आप मेरे लिए दुआ करते हैं, and you know आप नेक हैं, अल्लाह के करीब हैं, and this is my opinion, and I can ask him to do dua. एक बाप अपने बेटे के लिए दुआ कर सकता है, एक बच्चा अपने पेरेंट्स के लिए दुआ कर लेता है. It's something completely different when that person is not in that दुनिया, and हम उसी के पास जा रहे हैं और हम कह रहे हैं कि ये मेरे लिए जो है ना इंटरसीड करेगा. हालांकि अल्लाह ताला is ahad, Allah Ta'ala is samad. This quality is only with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is only one exception to that rule, and that is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's also because we have to hadith sharif, right, कि हम the Prophet sallallahu will intercede for the ummah on the day of judgment. हमारे नबी खुद बता के चले गए, right. But हम जो है we associate this with other people as well, and we do that. Allah Ta'ala कह रहे हैं lam yalid wa lam yulad. That's the beginning of shirk. I'm not saying that's shirk, but that is the beginning. That is a smaller form of shirk, and that builds up to a higher form of shirk, right. And so we have to be really careful about that. And this is why कि हालांकि इतनी simple सूरत है, हम इतनी बार ये पढ़ते हैं, but it's because we don't understand कि हमें क्या रही है, तो उसका effect भी फिर हमारे दिल पे नहीं हो रहा होता. And believe me, लेकिन a lot of people are confused, and I'm not sort of pointing out, मैं किसी को point out नहीं कर रहा, I'm not pointing fingers, because हम हर बंदा किसी ना किसी तरह जो है फिसल रहा होता है, right. But I just want to basically say that कि अगर हम इस कुरान को actually internalize करें, what the Quran is actually saying to us, what Allah Ta'ala is saying to us, and हम अल्लाह ताला से हर रोज जो हिदायत मांग रहे हैं, हम अगर बिल्कुल हम सिंसियर नियत से अल्लाह ताला से हिदायत मांगे और इस कुरान को समझने की कोशिश करें, so I'm pretty sure that Allah Ta'ala will always lead us to the right path, and He will save us from all the innovations that are there in these, and He'll save us from all forms of shirk, because there are many forms of shirk, and these forms of shirk are basically identified in the next ayah, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. And nor is there to him any equivalent. Kufuwan comes from mukafa, and it means there is no comparison. There is no equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Subhanallah, right? And क्या बोलते हैं, this is talking about not just the external idols, because external idols की तो अल्लाह ताला ने नफी कर दी, right? He said that he is ahad, so there can be no gods. He said he is samad, so then all your needs are covered. He said lam yalid walam yulad, that he can have no children, nor was he born, so there is no other zat except him. So then walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad is basically dealing, or is taking this statement of tawheed a bit further, and it's saying that not only are there external idols, external तौर पे एक शिर्क हो रहा होता है, but there's also a shirk that is happening in your heart. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. हम उस चीज से भी पनाह मांगे कि we cannot equate anything to him. And इसको हम शिर्क खफी, शिर्क सगीर भी कहते हैं, शिर्क खफी भी कहते हैं, वो शिर्क जो हमारे अंदर, जो हमारे दिलों में होता है. And these are the idols that are there in our heart. It's because it's very easy to destroy the external idols. बाहर जो idols होते हैं उनको तोड़ना physically बहुत आसान है. But then there is something that is in our heart which forces us to do some sort of shirk, and we have to, हमें कॉन्स्टेंटली मेहनत करनी है प्योरीफाई करने की अपने आप को, उस दिल को प्योरीफाई करने की कि वो शिर्क हमारे दिल से निकल जाए. एंड व्हाट इज दैट? इज बेसिकली कि मी एंड यू हैव टू रियली हैव अ, जैसे कहते हैं ना, एक रियल कन्वर्सेशन अपने आप से करनी है. एंड मी एंड यू हैव टू आस्क ईच अदर दैट हु डू वी ट्रूली डिपेंड ऑन, राइट? हु इज ट्रूली आवर गोल? समझ के अंदर मीनिंग था ना कि समवन, वो जात जो हमारा गोल हो, समथिंग दैट वी रीच आउट टू. तो हु हम दुनिया में असल में किसको राजी कर रहे हैं? हम क्या दुनिया में ही फंसे हुए हैं? हम लोगों का, हम देख रहे हैं कि लोग हमसे राजी हैं, कि हम देख रहे हैं अल्लाह ताला हमसे राजी है, राइट? हु आर वी ट्राइंग टू एक्चुअली प्लीज? एंड दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन दैट वी नीड टू आस्क आवरसेल्व्स, राइट? कि कभी कभार वी सॉर्ट ऑफ गेट सो ऑब्सेस्ड विद वेल्थ एंड स्टेटस एंड रिकॉग्निशन एंड अदर मटेरियल स्टफ एंड अप्रिसिएशन, कि हम बस, हमें होता है कि बस लोग हमें जाने, हम पहचाने जाएं, हमारी इज्जत हो, हमारे पास माल हो, दौलत हो. हम इतने ज्यादा इन चीजों में फंस जाते हैं, तो फिर इन्हीं चीजों के बारे में हम बात कर रहे होते हैं. दैट्स द जिक्र, दीस आर द थिंग्स वी डू जिक्र ऑफ. माल के बारे में, काम के बारे में, लोगों के बारे में, वो क्या सोच रहा है, ये क्या सोच रहा है, मैं, मतलब जो ना, जो एक मैं होता है, हम उसमें फंस जाते हैं, राइट? एंड वी हैव टू रियलाइज कि ऑफ ऑल दिस टाइम जो हम इन चीजों का जिक्र कर रहे थे, किसका जिक्र इग्नोर हो रहा है, किसकी फिक्र इग्नोर होती है? सही है ना? तो वी आर बेसिकली इन अ सेंस, हम जिसका हम ज्यादा जिक्र करते हैं, उसी को हमने अपना इलाह बनाया हुआ है. इसीलिए हम अपनी फिक्र सारी उसमें डालते हैं, इसीलिए हम अपनी चाहते भी उसी में डालते हैं, राइट? कि मैं और आप ये सोच रहे होते हैं कि असल में ये मटेरियल चीजें हैं, और ये जो इंसान मेरे सामने, ये मेरे काम बनाएंगे. दे आर द वंस हु विल गिव मी व्हाट आई नीड, एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी डू द utmost टू प्लीज देम. कि एक, मतलब वी हैव पीपल हु आर स्टक, कि नहीं, मतलब यू हैव सो मेनी, यू नो, बट लोग आ रहे होते हैं, कह रहे होते हैं यार दाढ़ी रखनी है, बट हम नहीं रख सक रहे बिकॉज पता नहीं लोग क्या कहेंगे, पता नहीं अम्मी अबू क्या कहेंगे, पता नहीं जॉब पे क्या होगा, right? You have girls who are coming and saying that we want to cover and we want to wear a burqa, but we can't do it because we don't know what people will say, right? And we get stuck in that, right? And it's a really sad thing because वो external इतना pressure आ रहा होता है जो हमने as a society हमने create कर लिया, right? It's because we've forgotten that everything was supposed to be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And that means that we are not actually turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are turning to things other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even though we're not doing shirk in the explicit sense, हम शिर्क नहीं कर रहे, बट कहीं ना कहीं हमारे दिल में वो निफाक है, वो शिर्क का एक एलिमेंट है कि हमने अपने होप्स और अपने डिजायर्स और अपना गोल किसी और चीज को बना लिया. And Allah Ta'ala is not the end goal that we are seeking. And we need to think about that. And so one way of basically opening our heart to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and this is the month of Ramadan, and this is a really, really special month because Allah Ta'ala इस महीने में दिलों को नरम करते हैं, शैतान बड़े वाले कैद हैं, and Allah Ta'ala makes ibadat easy in this month. So मैं और आप जो है इस रमजान, me and you, and this is the last few days now, this is the last few days, and me and you have to really sit down and we need to have a real conversation with ourselves, and we need to ask ourselves, okay, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean to us, right? And how much do we care about what Allah thinks of us, right? And how much are we actually willing to give up for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how much are we actually willing to change for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? That is walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. There is no equivalent to him. So why have we made other really, really funny things that will not last us, things that we will not need in our cover, things that we will not need in the day of judgment? उनको हमने अपना end goal बना लिया है. हालांकि the true samad, the true goal, the true zat that we had to reach out to was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the meaning. This is the meaning of the surah. These are the things that we get to learn when we're reading the surah. And this is a surah we read so many times. So my request is, and starting with myself, मैं अपने आप से बात कर रहा हूँ
when we read this surah, these are the things that we need to think about. And inshallah, I'm certain that Allah Ta'ala will make this, हमारी Allah Ta'ala इस नियत को कबूल फरमाए, and Allah Ta'ala will inshallah grant us the hidayah and the straight path. And Allah Ta'ala will जो है ना, मतलब जो हम कभी कभार हम फंसे हुए होते हैं कि सही रास्ता मिल नहीं रहा, तो अगर हम इस सिंसियरिटी से अल्लाह ताला से मांगेंगे, इस सिंसियरिटी से अल्लाह ताला का कुरान पढ़ेंगे, अल्लाह ताला की ज़बान को, the Prophet सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की सीरा पढ़ेंगे, उसको समझने की कोशिश करेंगे with the sincerity, with ikhlas, right? It's Surah Ikhlas, right? And it's also called Surah Najat, which means जो है सहाबा ने ही names दिए सूरह को, तो सूरह इखलास को सूरह नजात भी कहते हैं कि it's something that saves us, जो निजात देती है, जो बचाएगी, because this is the surah that saves our iman. This is a surah that summarizes our religion for us. So may Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq कि जो कुछ कहा है उस पर सुनाए, उस पर अमल करने की तौफीक अता फरमाए. व आखिरु दाअवाना अनिल हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन.